Hello, I'm Dr. Jonathan Oates, archivist for the London Borough of Ealing. In my spare time, I'm also a writer of true historical crime, and the book in front of me was researched and written between 2015 and 2020, finally published last year. It is a biography of Donald Hume, who sprung to infamy in 1949. In that year, it was alleged by the police that he had lured a second-hand car dealer, Stanley Setti, an acquaintance of his, to his North London flat on Finchley Road. In that flat, on the evening of the 4th of October 1949, Donald Hume stabbed Stanley Setti to death. He then chopped up the body, took the body in parcels out of the flat on the next few days to an aerodrome. Now, Hume had a pilot's license, so he was able to fly a light aircraft, and in the next couple of days he used his skill to fly an aircraft out over the English Channel or possibly the North Sea and drop the parcels of body parts out of the aeroplane. He was arrested a few weeks later when one of the parcels containing the torso of the unfortunate victim was found in the Essex marshes by a man called Mr. Tiffin. In 1950, Hume was tried for murder. He argued that three men had offered him money to dispose of three parcels for them, and he had no idea what was in these parcels at all. He went along with them because they were paying him money, and he lacked money. In the end, the jury could not decide whether he was guilty or not guilty, and therefore, because a unanimous verdict was required, this being a capital offence where the defendant, if found guilty, could be executed, he was acquitted. However, he was sent to prison for being an accessory after the event. In 1958, after having served 8 out of 12 years of the sentence, he was released. He sold his story to a Sunday newspaper, in which he admitted, "I killed Setti." Because of the laws of double jeopardy then in force, he could not be rearrested and retried. In the same year, he left Britain, he went to Switzerland, and in Switzerland he met a young woman. Hume, however, needed money to maintain his lifestyle, and so he committed 2 bank robberies at the Midland Bank branch in Brentford, where on both occasions he shot and wounded, but fortunately not fatally, a member of bank staff, and he got away with just under £2,000 in total. In 1959, he tried to rob a bank in Zurich in Switzerland, but on this occasion he shot a bank employee, he took some money, and on his flight he was stopped by taxi driver Arthur Magg. Unfortunately for Arthur Magg, Hume had a loaded gun. He shot the taxi driver dead, but shortly afterwards he was arrested and put on trial for murder in Switzerland. He was found guilty, but there was no death penalty in Switzerland then, and he served time in prison. In 1976, because of his deteriorating mental health, it was decided he should be repatriated to Britain and put in Broadmoor. And he was in Broadmoor between 1976 and 1988, where he met people like one of the Cray brothers. He also met Charles Bronson. Both of these men, very notorious criminals in their own right, later mentioned Hume in their autobiographies, and they both regarded him as a great hero. In 1988, Hume was sent to St Bernard's Hospital, Southall, not far from where we're standing now, and former hospital librarian Paul Howard Lang met this elderly patient, because Hume was then in his late 60s. Paul Lang thought that Hume was a very charming old chap. He was very interested in both aircraft and gardening and a thoroughly polite and pleasant man. It was only later that Paul Lang was told what Hume had actually done, and thereafter, especially when Hume was doing gardening with a machete, Paul Lang took care to take a wide berth away from him. In about 1990, Hume was released from St Bernard's Hospital, and in 1998 his corpse was found in the grounds of a hotel in Basingstoke. He died of natural causes. As said, I wrote this book over a few years, and I was rather despairing of finding a publisher, but eventually a publisher who had rejected me decided that they would accept the book, and it was duly published in 2020. I've had quite a lot of help from friends such as Dr. Anna-Lena Berg and Lindsay Civita in the creation of this book. If you like this video, please remember to tick the like box and to subscribe to Ealing Library's YouTube channel. If you have any other further comments, please leave them in the comments box below, because we'd like to hear from you and we'd like to know what sort of videos you would like to see on this channel. Thank you.